Hi guys, welcome to Market Maverick. Today we'll be covering 10 assets that have good likelihood to rally this week from the 16th to the 20th of March 2026. These assets cover a collection of different sectors and different aspects of the market. And we believe that those ones are going to give you at least 5 to 10% return on investment within this week. So these are something you have to look at. So the first asset we're looking at is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has always been seen as a volatile asset, but you should be aware that there are some three factors that you need to consider when considering Bitcoin. The first factor is monetary policy expectation. We are expecting the monetary policy in terms of rate cuts. Rate cuts might be done in the year 2026. I'm expecting at least one or two rate cuts in 2026. We shouldn't be expecting it in the month of March, but at least one or two rate cuts is going to happen in this year. So long term, Bitcoin is going to do very well in 2026. This is almost certain. It's going to do very well in 2026. A lot of people believe that 2026 is a bear market, and yes, maybe it's a bear market, but it's not like the bear markets of before. I think the market has either bottomed when it hit $59,000-$60,000, or even if we are going to go down again, maybe we're going to go down somewhere around the 40, 50, 55,000 range. But I don't see us going as bad as the 2022, 2028, 2022, 2018 bear market scenario where Bitcoin went all the way down. I think that either we are bottomed and we are currently on an ascension, or this could just be another fake out. However, monetary policy expectation of a rate cut, we expect a rate cut at sometime this year. So that is something you have to look out for. The second catalyst is institutional adoption. Governments and companies globally are beginning to invest heavily into Bitcoin, and they are doing those slowly. They are doing so slowly, and they are doing it in a manner that is not so obvious to the people. And that's why retail continue to think that there is nothing happening in this market, but there's so much happening in this market. Institutions are currently accumulating gradually into the market, and until when the market becomes green and attention comes to crypto, before people will begin to understand. You make a video right now about the crypto market and you find out that you're getting little or no engagement because a lot of people think that crypto and Bitcoin is dead. But in a short time, when the market becomes green, retail begin to come in, and that is why they always end up exit liquidity. So do not sleep on Bitcoin. The last one is supply. Always remember, the one thing about Bitcoin is the fact that it has limited supply of 21 million. There will never be another coin after 21 million. 20 million already in circulation, with 1 million to be mined between now and the year 2140. That's a very long time to release 1 billion Bitcoin. With this, any Bitcoin you hold is a gold mine. The next thing we have to look at is Ethereum. Ethereum is something that people should look into. Ethereum powers the infrastructure behind decentralized finance, NFTs, and thousands of blockchain applications. This is the main thing about Ethereum. It's like I don't know if I should call it an oracle, but it is what other things are built upon. And because of this, the use case is very broad and makes it very, very important and very, very valuable to institutions. What makes Ethereum particularly interesting right now is its upcoming technological roadmap. There's a lot of things going on in Ethereum blockchain. So many things going on. So many things being built within it. So the roadmap for it it's massive. There are so many things. You can't even begin to explain everything in a very short video like this. But this is something you need to look into. Developers continue implementing upgrades aimed at reducing transaction fees and increasing network scalability. Yes, this is one thing that Ethereum has been able to do very well within the past year. They have been able to try to reduce their transaction fees, gas fees, to the barest minimum, making it more easy for people to develop and build on Ethereum blockchain. And that is why more developers are building on this blockchain. Do not sleep on this project. If Bitcoin continues rallying, Ethereum historically follows short after. This is known as the altcoin rotation effect. Yes, this is something that I think has been happening even in the stock market, but it is not as visible or as evident as it is in the crypto market, because the Magnificent Seven stocks, people tend to take profit from them and then put into other stocks. Just the same way in the crypto market, Bitcoin is the first thing where all the money goes into, and when it has rallied and people have made good profit, they take that profit from there and they put it into Ethereum and put it into other projects, and they continue to rise. So do not sleep on Ethereum. Ethereum is going to do a lot, and is the altcoin leader for altcoins. The next you have to look at is Solana. Solana is a very great project. Solana is one of the fastest growing ecosystems in crypto. Solana has become extremely popular among developers because of its high transaction speeds and very low fees. It has always had low fees. It has been one of the edge it has had over Ethereum. But because of the fact that Ethereum is reducing these gas fees, it's giving it that fighting edge. But at the end of the day, I think more people are developing on Ethereum, on Solana, and maybe Solana might end up doing better. The network has become a hub for decentralized finance, projects, gaming, platforms, and meme coin trading activity. Like I said before, so many people are building on it, so many people are investing on it, so many people are growing this at scale. So it's something that you have to look into. Some analysts even believe Solana could become a serious competitor for Ethereum in certain blockchain sectors. Yes, Solana is gonna compete with Ethereum on certain blockchain sectors. This is something that is not questionable, but it will matter over time when we see what Ethereum is building, because they are still building and Solana is still building. So it's something to look into. The next asset we need to look into is XRP. XRP, for years, XRP has been mostly known for legal battles with regulators. Yes, they've been in court for so many years trying to determine whether XRP is a security or is a commodity. At the end of the day, this case was concluded last year, 2025, when Brad Garlinghouse, when the chairman of the SEC was removed, because he was the one that was fighting this and then took XRP to court. Instead of focusing purely on speculation, the conversation is now about real-world financial infrastructure. Yes, XRP is going to partner with the banks. That is just simple. What this simply just means. You're going to partner with the banks. You're going to have a lot of things going on in XRP. XRP will be like the bank of the crypto industry. And a lot of things are going to grow in it. A lot of things are going to be built around it. It's going to be the hub for the financial institutions. So it's not something to sleep on. Payment systems designed to help banks move money internationally in seconds. Yes, like I said, working with the banks, they're going to help to move money internationally. Look at it. Today, you want to move money from one point to another through your banking sector. You are trying to move something like $500 million. The transaction fee is going to be very expensive, over 1-2%, and it's going to be very, very expensive for you to move that money. At the same time, it's going to take 2, 3, 4 days before that transaction is completed. But when done over the XRP ledger, it's going to cost you a fraction of that money in pennies to the dollar. It's going to cost you to move that same amount of money, and it's going to do it in a matter of seconds. This technology could eventually reshape the multi-million-dollar global remittance market. Yes, it would. With the blockchain technology, so many things are going to change. The financial system as we know it is going to change. This is something that is very, very valid. The next thing we want to look at is micron technology. Like I said, this is cutting through different sectors, and now we're talking about the stock. This stock is something you should not sleep on. Micron technology produces the memory chip used in everything from smartphones to data centers. From smartphone to they built the memory chips that are required for most of the devices you use. But more importantly, they produce high bandwidth memory chips required for artificial intelligence systems. You understand what that means? They are the one that produce the high bandwidth memory chips required for artificial intelligence systems. So basically, they are the memory aspect of what NVIDIA is doing. So if you can imagine NVIDIA with a $5 trillion market capitalization, imagine where this is going. Currently sitting at barely less than $500 billion market capitalization. So it's about a 10x to what NVIDIA is currently today. And with their earnings coming up on the 18th of March, I think this is going to be a catalyst that will boost this stock to an all-time high. So don't sleep on this. Analysts estimate that the price of certain memory components could rise more than 100% year over year because of AI data centers. Yes, the demand for memory capacity is increasing, and this AI data centers being built everywhere is increasing the demand. So the price of these components could go up. And even currently we are having some of these copper and other materials that are becoming more scarce, and because of their scarcity or inability to be mined. For example, you want to mine copper, it can take you over 20 years to be able to mine copper, and to open a new mine and mine it efficiently. So this will create higher demand. More industries, more companies, due to this AI boom, are demanding for copper, and including more power infrastructure being built. And yet the rate at which it is being mined is reducing by the day. So you can imagine that when it comes to Micron trying to build more when they have less to work with. Micron's upcoming earnings reports could become a major catalyst, like I have said before. If the company confirms strong demand from AI companies building massive computing clusters, the stock could experience another powerful move. Yes, it's good. If demand for AI components increases, definitely the stock will continue to move. So the next thing we want to look is Nvidia. You cannot talk about AI without talking about Nvidia. Nvidia, if Micron supplies the memory of AI, Nvidia supplies the brain. This is just very apt. Nvidia designs these graphics processors that power nearly every advanced artificial intelligence model in the world. They are the one that produce the graphics processor that powers artificial intelligence models in the world. And with this, you can imagine, Nvidia is a household name. Virtually almost everything that you do these days in one way or the other has chips or one thing or the other from the Nvidia corporation. So it's not a stock that you should sleep on. You can never go wrong on Nvidia. I think Nvidia is multi-decade, is gonna be at the forefront of the AI infrastructure. So it's not something you should sleep on. Companies building large AI systems, including cloud providers, research labs, and tech giants, rely heavily on Nvidia chips. Yes, they do. Because of this demand, Nvidia became one of the most valuable companies on the planet during the AI boom, like I have said earlier. At Nvidia's upcoming developer conference, the company is expected to unveil new AI processors designed to dramatically increase computing power. So we're going to see what's going to happen when that time comes and see what they're able to build for us. If these chips deliver major performance improvements, demand for Nvidia's hardware could accelerate even further. Yes, we're expecting this to happen. So everything is just about time. And the faster you can be able to get into this, the better. So let's see the next. The next is Coinbase stock. Coinbase operates one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. This is very apt. Coinbase is a very big crypto exchange, which means the business model is directly tied to crypto trading activity. Yes, as crypto continue to improve and the market continue to, the retail and investors, both retail and institutional investors come into crypto and Bitcoin starts rising, tends to push the Coinbase stock, and at a rate of about 1:3. For every 10% Bitcoin moves, this stock could be going up 30% because it is a lot of people are buying it because they see it as a safer asset now that there is no proper regulation in the crypto industry. Until the Clarity Act is passed, this stock is already far better because institutions would rather expose themselves to this as a means of getting exposed to crypto rather than buying the cryptos directly, now that there is no regulation. When Bitcoin rises, trading volume typically increase dramatically, and that translates into higher revenue for exchanges. If crypto momentum continues building, Coinbase could benefit from both rising prices and increased transaction volume. That is just very simple, and it's something you should put in your radar for this week. The next is section 8, oil. I don't think this needs any introduction. Recently, crude oil prices surged towards $100 per barrel as geopolitical tensions intensified in the Middle East. The price has jumped nearly 60% in 4 weeks. High oil prices impact transportation, manufacturing, and even food production. But for energy companies and oil traders, rising prices can create enormous opportunities. If tensions remain elevated and supply disruptions continue, oil prices could remain volatile in the coming weeks. Yes, already you know that we have the Iran-Israel-US war currently ongoing. And so long as that war continues and we continue to have geopolitical uncertainty and tensions, the price of oil will continue to go up. There is no hidden truth about that. So for this week, I don't see the war ending anytime soon. For this week, I think betting on oil is not a bad play. At least you could put 10-20% of your portfolio into that and just see how you can run it up for this week. And by this time next week again, I will give you what I think is going to happen for the week. The next one is gold. Gold has served as a store of value. Gold has always been a store of value. It has been here for thousands of years and it has never had any reason to fail us now. I remember someone telling me, you are buying gold at 2,700. Don't you think it's at an all-time high? And I said no, that we're going to see gold do more as interest rate is being cut. That we're going to see gold doing more. Because when interest rate is cut, there's more money in circulation. People tend to invest more. Naturally, you go to riskier assets like crypto, but also they also go into gold. So long as the interest rate is being cut, people tend to circulate money more. So I said gold is going to move. And I bought gold at 2,700, I bought it at 3,000, I bought it at 3,500, and it continued to move. And today, gold is sitting at over $5,000. Volatility in the market, factors support demand and safe haven assets like gold. So people tend to just go into gold as a means of protecting their wealth and as they see it as a safe haven. Section 10, the 10th asset here is the S&P 500. Now, there is this speculation that the S&P 500 index could drop down to somewhere around 5,600. This is possible. It is not impossible. It's very, very possible. However, for this week that we are in, I actually believe that the market is going to go up, even at the short term, maybe up to 5% from where it currently sits. So, this gives us the 10 assets that we are expecting to do well in this week from 16th to 20th of this week. Already some of them started picking up over the at night up till these early hours of this morning. Some of them started picking up, but I hope to see them do more. Some of these projects include that we have covered this today include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Micron, Nvidia, Coinbase, oil, gas, gold, and the S&P 500. So look into these projects; they are going to do well this week. And then each is being driven by powerful global forces such as cryptocurrency adoption, artificial intelligence, energy markets, and geopolitical risk. The key takeaway is this: markets move not just because of price charts, but because of narratives, technology, and global events. If you understand those forces early, you can position yourself before the biggest moves happen. Finally, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Market Maverick for weekly deep dives into the most important opportunities in the global market. As we'll be covering this once every week, we'll give you what we think is going to happen during the week. And remember, the biggest opportunities often appear when the world feels the most uncertain. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.